Today, we're going to be digging into something that is a constant frustration with working moms inside of our community. And that is why we can never get finished what we start. You wake up early, you've got your list made, you're motivated, you're ready to go. But then by noon, you somehow have been derailed 17 times and everything is still unfinished, but you have been busy all day. Does that sound familiar? Well, let's figure out what's going on. Welcome to the Balance It Method podcast. If you're a working mom juggling a career, kids, housework, a social life, and endless piles of laundry, then you are in the right place, my friend. I'm Tamara, a mom, business owner, and your balanced living bestie. Each week, we will discuss simple, practical ways to better manage your time and energy so you can get things checked off that to-do list without burning yourself out in the process. If you're ready to take off that busy badge of honor and finally take control over life's chaos, then let's take this journey together as we learn how to balance it. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Balance It Method podcast. I'm your host, Tamara, and if this is your first time tuning into the show, welcome, my friends. This is the place where real moms, working moms, we're coming together, we're talking about the things that we're struggling with, and we figure out ways to do them a little easier so that we can get them done without burning ourselves out in the process. And today we're digging into a very common problem, and that is being motivated, being ready to go, but not being able to complete our list of things that we wanted to do, or getting started on things but not being able to get them finished. So in this episode, we are going to figure out what's going wrong, and I'm going to give you a few ideas of how to deal with it. So I'm going to give you 3 different reasons why this might be happening. So the first reason that this might be showing up for you. So when you sit down to make your to-do list, and I know you make that list because you're the kind of person who wants to get things done, you're writing down everything that you want to accomplish like you're starting with a blank slate every day, but you're not. You never are. You're a mom. You've got things already baked into your daily schedule. You have a job that you have to go to. You have kids you have to take care of. You have lunches that need made. You have dinners that need made. You have rides. You have emotional support that needs to be offered. You have approximately 4,000 requests for snacks and questions that need to be answered, and commitments and meals to make, and a house that doesn't clean itself, and your day is already full before you even write a single thing on that list. So when you sit down and you write 10 things that you want to get done that day, your day only actually has room for maybe 3 of those things, right? And that doesn't mean that you're failing at anything or you're bad at it. You're just busy. And the problem isn't you. The problem is your list itself. The fix isn't to do more or hustle harder. That's never ever the answer, by the way, around here. It's because before you add a single thing to your day, you need to know what's actually already going on in it. Inside the Balance It Method, I teach my students as they come through that when we write our to-do list, well, we don't write to-do lists, first of all. We write priority funnels. And when we write our priority funnels, we are making sure that in each day of our week, we have a little segment of that day dedicated to one of those tasks on the priority funnel. Just one, okay? So that giant list of 10 things that you wanted to get done after work, not really very realistic now, is it? Okay, part 2, the reason why nothing is getting done in this one is really sneaky, but really familiar. You're in the middle of something, you're actually doing the thing that you said you were going to do, and then someone needs you, right? You get called away. You remember something else that you were supposed to do, or you glance at your phone and there's a message, and now your brain is completely jumping tasks. And here's what's actually happening in there when that occurs. Every time you switch tasks, your brain has to disengage from what it was doing, reorient to another thing, and then if you come back, it has to then reload the context of what the original task was. And it's not just about losing focus on the tasks, it's about your energy. Every single one of those switches costs you cognitive fuel. Decision fatigue is a real thing. We know this as moms. And the more micro decisions and redirects your brain has to make throughout the day, the less capacity you have for things that actually matter. For moms, this is especially brutal because the interruptions aren't coming from a place of like laziness or distractions. They're coming from actual things that are actual fires that we need to put out. So the solution to this problem is two things that need to work together. So first, yes, you need to get clear on your priorities before the day starts so you have something to return to when you get pulled away. That's non-negotiable. But second, this is where it gets more practical. You need to systemize the distractions themselves. So what does that look like? So if you have young kids, build in something that buys you focused time. Set up an activity before you sit down to work or before you start to do your cleaning task for the day. Something that genuinely holds their attention. It could be screen time, it could be a craft, something that you know will keep them busy for the amount of time that you need to focus on this task. And use a timer so that they know when the timer dings that you will then be able to return and do something with them. It creates then a container so that they know when that sound comes from the timer that you're going to then be available for them. They're not in a constant state of having to entertain themselves and not bother you or constantly be bothering you because they want your attention. And when it comes to your phone, and I say this with love, my friends, your phone might be the distraction itself. So maybe just turn off notifications during your focus block, right? Like the phones have that option, so just do it. That's a system right there to avoid the distractions coming in from your phone. Or you could even take it a step further and set up an automated text response that says like, hey, I'm in my focus block right now. I'll get back to you soon. If it's really urgent, just call me. That way people aren't left hanging, waiting for your response if it is something urgent, and you're not anxious about missing the important message or being anxious that you forgot to respond to your friend. And for emails specifically, one of the biggest sources of that I can't ignore this anxiety is that you need a processing system for your emails. So mine is super simple. After dinner, I go through and I respond to anything that genuinely needs a response from that day. Everything else gets handled on Sunday during what I call my home admin time. So it's part of my Sunday reset system where I have a little chunk of time where I handle home admin tasks. So this means signing school papers, filling out online forms, and then sending those non-urgent emails. Now, this doesn't apply to everything. Some things do come in that are urgent and need response right away, but if it can wait, let it wait. And the third reason that you're maybe not able to accomplish what you wanted to in any given day is because you don't have systems. My friends, we've already touched on this in the last reason, but systems are what are going to save you time and time again. I know I'm a broken record around here. I'm going to scream it from the rooftops until all of you have systems set up for managing the repeating tasks in your day, in your week, in your month, all of them, so that you have less on that to-do list regularly. There's only 3, 4, 5 absolute max things that should be written down that you have to do in addition to the other things, because the other things that are already in your schedule, that are already happening, dinners, laundry, cleaning, all of that stuff needs to have a system behind it. You need to know when and where it's happening every single week so that you don't have to think about it. It's not an open tab in your brain, and then you have the capacity to handle the other things that are going to come in throughout the week. A system is just a repeatable way of doing something so that you're not reinventing the wheel every single time you're trying to do it. Let me give you an example from my own life, and this is actually something that I've done an entire other YouTube video about, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it up below, and it's about meal planning, dinners specifically. So historically, this is one of the most draining parts of a Mother's Day because it happens every single night. And yet somehow we're like, how do I have to decide what to make for dinner again? So here's my system. I have 6 or 7 dinners that my family actually eats. I just rotate them throughout the week. No experimenting, no scrolling through new recipes. If I want to try something new, I'll throw it in on a weekend or on an open day when we have lots of time. But most of the time, I stick to those 5, 6 meals that we know that we're going to eat. I sit down, I decide which of those meals we're going to have on which night of the week, and I update my pre-made grocery list with whatever we need. So if I bought a bulk supply of the thing of the ingredient that we need for the one meal, then I probably don't need it the next week, so I'll remove that from my shopping list. Or if we went through something that is an ingredient for that meal, then I will add that to the list. The list is pre-made for those recipes specifically, and so all I have to do is edit just really quickly. And then the last step in that entire process is that I decide what day I'm going grocery shopping, and that's it. That's the entire system. The whole thing takes about 10 minutes, and because it's the same process every week, it doesn't take any mental energy anymore. I'm not making decisions from scratch. I'm just filling in the variables, right? And that's what a system does. It takes a task that used to drain you and it turns it into something you don't even have to think about anymore. And when you have systems in place for the reoccurring things in your life, you free up brain space for the things that actually need it, for you to be creative, for you to be able to even have the time to think about doing a hobby, right? When's the last time that you took time to think about what you want to do for fun? You don't have the time to think about that because you've got too many open tabs of all the other things. Wouldn't it be lovely to have those tabs closed so that you can open one that's an actual creative process in your brain? Something to consider. Okay, let's wrap this up together. You don't finish what you start because your to-do list ignores your actual life, because you're making priority decisions in the middle of chaos instead of before it, and because you're redoing the same mental work over and over and over with no system underneath it. None of that is a character flaw, my friends. It's all fixable and it's learnable, and this is exactly what I teach inside the Balance It Method. If you want to check it out for yourself, I'll link it out below. Or if you just want to get a little taste of what weekly planning can do for you, you can check out the Simplified Week Workshop, which is a free 30-minute, actually it's less than 30 minutes, video that you can watch. And I will also link that up for you below. So you've got some links to check out in the show notes. So get down there and have a look. Okay, my friends, that's it for today. Thank you as always for being here and supporting this show. If you know another mom who is struggling and could use this show as some support for her busy mom life as well, please share it along and make sure you are subscribed or following the show so that you don't miss the next one. Okay, my friends, I'll see you back here for that one next week. Bye, guys.